Hey guys, welcome back to my show, Talk It Out. Today I'm here with my grandmother, but I call her Nanny. And today we're going to talk about her experiences with going back to school at age 48. Hi Nanny.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Would you like to introduce yourself to my viewers?
My name is Theora Brown. Again, I am Michaela's grandmother.
So why did you decide to go back to school at age 48?
In the work that I do, I felt it was necessary because it was a challenge to me. I wanted to go back to further my education. I tried earlier. My mom got sick and then eventually passed away. So I had lost all interest in going back. And then I found out that there was a program with where I work at Barnes Jewish Hospital that does tuition, help you with tuition reimbursement.
Oh, yeah.
So what I did was got all my paperwork together and started back. It was fairly easy. I was afraid at first, but then I just jumped in with both feet.
Yeah, because a lot of people are afraid to go back with being out for so long. So they're afraid that the work is harder, or they don't remember any like math equations and or even simple writing structure.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so I do.
And then things have changed. I
Yeah.
mean, ways of teaching changed. But with this program, it was called, it was a program that you take one class for 8 weeks. And for that 8 weeks, you have one study group. So you go to class on one night a week and you take study group. It was really an excelled class. You had to really study, really stay in the books, but that one night a week made it easy. So you're not shutting your life off.
Right.
Kind of.
So you took a night class?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I went back on Monday nights, and that was my night to do classes. And then on Thursdays is when the group got together, study group got together, and we did our projects or assignments together, which made it like a group thing.
Right, and it made it a lot easier for you to have that like help and.
Yeah, it was more so. It was more of a team effort.
Okay.
In the workplace now, they look for teams. It's there's no just me, or it's everything happens in teams. So Fontbonne got me ready for the team project, and I worked on with a real good team at work. So it was really easy to get into.
Right. Okay. Why didn't you decide to go back when you were younger?
Well, I had children young. Life happens.
Yeah.
When I did go back, I went back in my early 30s, and that's when my mom got sick and eventually, just like I said, passed away. But it was just life. I had kids early, got married young, and life just took over.
Right.
So when my kids grew up and got grown, then I had that urge to go back.
Right, and you had that extra time to.
Extra time, had the job that was, support me. It was the time to go back.
Right, like why not?
Yeah. Probably one of the oldest ones in my class.
So speaking of being the oldest in your class, do you feel like you were looked at differently because you were the oldest one?
No, I was looked up to because there was a lot of people in my class. I think there was maybe one that was close to my age. Everyone else was late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
So it was all, it was a adult accelerated class. So a lot of my classmates were kind of looked up to me because, you know, the group even that I was in, I was the oldest. And they would think about, Miss Thee, what you think? Miss Thee, how would you do this? Miss Thee. So I had that advantage of, number one, being older, but I wasn't frowned upon.
Right.
I was actually, everyone looked up to me, which made me feel good and make me wanted to go further.
Right. What did you major in at Fontbonne?
Fontbonne was business administration. That was my bachelor's degree. After I graduated from Fontbonne, I heard about the master's program at Webster University. And what I did at Webster, right after I came out of Fontbonne, I graduated from Fontbonne in May. And by June, the second week of June, I was already in classes at Webster. So I didn't stop. I kept going. And that gave me the incentive to go ahead and get my master's degree in business administration.
Okay.
With an emphasis in healthcare.
Nice. So are you using your degree now?
Yes, I am. I am the team supervisor of the Vision Centers at BJC. I've been in that position now for a year, acting in that position for a year and a half.
Right.
So it's working. They wanted someone with their master's degree, with their degree, whether it be undergrad or graduate.
Okay.
So with me having a master's, it worked out to my advantage.
Right.
And being the only one in my department basically with a degree, it worked out very well.
Right. So you've been working for BJC for how long?
21 years.
Wow.
21 years. And I started at Christian Northeast Hospital in the Vision Center there. And the Vision Center had just opened. So they needed someone to actually do the lab work. Well, I went in doing lab work and ended up working with the doctor, and maybe after about 3 years I transferred to Barnes-Jewish Hospital, and I've been there ever since.
Wow. And you just moved up within the company in the last year with your degree.
Yes, I got my master's degree at age 54.
Wow.
So it pays off.
Yeah.
Don't matter, you know, it pays off. It pays off. Don't even think that you're a failure when you go back to school late in age. As a matter of fact, you tend to not want to fail because of your age.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you waited so long to go back to school, and once you actually get your foot in the door, almost about to graduate, it's like, why give up now? You know, I've came this far.
Right. It's hard work, but it pays off.
Yeah. See, I'm still undecided if I want to go back to school for my master's. I don't even know what it'll be in, honestly, since my major is communications. It's so broad to where if I did want to master in business administration, I can, or clinical counseling, school counseling, I can major in a lot of different things.
Go into something that's more specific. MBA is broad. Get your MBA within, you know, your master's in health informatics or something that's specific.
Right.
And therefore you will be able to work towards that goal of where you want to be. Be more specific in getting your degree, especially your master's, because that kind of sets the tone in where you want to be.
Right.
Your undergrad is in communications. Your master's should point towards television communication, radio communication, in that field, even acting. You can still go into that, but be specific in what you want to do. Know where your goals are going to be. When you get that master's degree, you should be ready to go into the work field right out of school.
Right. Do you think it's easier for an employer to choose someone with their master's instead of someone with their undergrad?
In some instances, look into what is popular right now. Communications, computer science, get into HR, something of that aspect. That will get you in the door. I believe that when you are looking towards something of that nature, you might find success. MBA, you can get an MBA, but where can you use it?
Right.
I was fortunate enough to be working and work in a field that my MBA was needed. So I was fortunate for that. So I thank God that He led me or kept me there, because I tried to leave BJC twice.
Really?
So, and I was on my third interview with Mercy Hospitals, and I didn't get the position. I was second to get the position, but I did not. And that made me say, okay, I've invested this much time in BJC. Let me go ahead and finish it out. I've got 5.5, 6 years before retirement. So,
right, might as well
stay there.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is there any advice you would like to give to anyone who feels like it's too late to go back to school?
It is never too late. Never too late. When you, my ex-husband's mom, she's got 2 or 3 degrees, and she was in her 70s when she graduated from UMSO 5 years ago.
Really?
So you're never too old. You are never too old. As long as I think going back to school at an older age, or even just taking a class or doing something to keep your mind occupied, you tend to not go into a way of forgetting things. And you keep your mind busy. You keep your mind going. So you're never too old. I commend people who go back to school at a late age. I love it. Because it gives me the incentive, not that I'm thinking about going back, because I'm not. I do not want to go back to school. I'm done. But it really gives some of these seniors something to do.
Yeah.
And if going back to school, and now if you can afford it, I would say do it.
Yeah.
If you can afford it, get it done. Because when you look at it, you're never too old to learn. You're always learning, ever learning. No matter what you do in life, no matter where life takes you, you are going to learn something, whether it's in a book, life itself, anything that you actually desire, learn about it. I like old buildings and the architecture in the old buildings. And I like to go and research where that, see the original sign on some of the buildings here in St. Louis. And I go back on the internet and research what was that building all about. Where was it at? What kind of business it did. That's my sort of, hobby. I like to, research about old buildings. Hey, it's something, you're never too old.
Never too
You're
old.
never too old. No. Do something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
And when you're happy, you tend to thrive more. You tend to do more. You tend to want to be more.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I can say that, to someone who wants to go back and is afraid to go back. Get whatever paper you can get, because it is worth it, not only to yourself, but to your family. I remember when I graduated from Fontbonne, my family was there. You all were there.
We were there.
When I graduated from Webster, you all were sitting out there.
Yeah.
That made me feel great. And I was the only person in my family to graduate from college. So that made me proud. My sister was there. My sister got a chance to see me before she passed away. So, it was a milestone for me.
Yeah.
Life is good when your family can support you in what you're doing, no matter what age. So, hey, if you want to go back to school at age 89, do it. Do it.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on my show, Talk It Out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you know someone who's a little bit older in age who went back to school, comment down below. I'd love to see your feedback. But thank you guys so much for watching again. Stay tuned to my next video on Monday. Bye.
Bye.
Next on Talk It Out. Hey guys, welcome back to my show, Talk It Out. Today's topic is Black women with natural hair. Today I'm here with Bria, and she's basically going to tell us her story about starting off her journey of being natural. So 7 years ago, that's when you started. And you were getting perms back then, right?
I used to stay getting, my favorite one was Dr. Miracle. Slap that mud in. People say I have good hair, and I'd be like, nope, it's
a perm.
Yeah. So I stayed getting perms.
Another big trend in hair is the faux locks. So how do you feel about that hairstyle?
I don't like them at all. I don't like false locks whatsoever because